Right there, listen, I'm telling you, I'm not sure what are you doing this weekend, but I want to go ahead and put this on your calendar. Okay, coming up Friday, there's an incredible film called The Piano Lesson. It's an adaptation of an August Wilson play. It's streaming on Netflix this Friday. Interesting enough, it has a lot of different heavy hitters that are involved. But the most important one is with us today, the director and writer, right?
Yeah, co-writer. Me and my friend Virgil put this together.
Put it together, right? Thespian extraordinaire, Heather B. His blood legacy is incredible. He comes from thespian royalty. But we're going to talk about him today. I want to welcome him to the show for the very first time. We've had his brother up here recently.
Yeah.
Now we got to have him up here. The one and only Malcolm Washington
Malcolm,
is in the building,
M-Dub, what's up, baby?
Man. Come on, man.
It's such an honor to be here. Y'all are legends in our culture and been listening to y'all for minutes. So it's exciting to share the space with you.
Thank you.
Gave me goosebumps right there, PB. You think Heather and I are legends?
Yeah, of course. Y'all are seminal voices. So.
Seminal
Wow,
voices. I
thank
like
you.
that, man. You come from a legendary family, right? The Washington family. Denzel, I told you I met your father years ago and working on radio. We met your brother. Have yet to meet your sisters.
Or your mom.
Your mom.
Yeah.
You haven't met my mom yet?
No, and we love her because your brother John, as Sway mentioned, he spoke so highly of your mom. And Sway, what I always love about Sway's an advocate for women, and he speaks highly of women and the matriarchs of the family. And your brother spoke so highly of your mom as well, and it's like she's the one that's holding it down. So
no doubt, and she's a very special lady. And if you share the space with her, you'll see that she rubs off on everybody.
Okay, can you hook that up?
Yo, my mom, I'm telling you, if you told me this 15 minutes ago, my mom would have been here in a heartbeat.
Oh wow, we love her. We love Mrs.
her.
Washington. Yes.
She actually was a source of inspiration for you with this project,
Absolutely,
right? You
absolutely.
dedicated this film to her?
I did, yeah. Well, at the end of the film, when you see it, there's a card that comes up that says "For Mama."
Yeah.
Because, we talk not enough about the role of the black mother in our culture, the role of black women, the necessary labor that they and backbone that they are in our culture. And I wanted to acknowledge that. I wanted to acknowledge that dynamic, my relationship with her. She's somebody who made so many opportunities available to me. She watered the soil that I sprout from. She provided so much inspiration to me personally, but that dynamic. So I honor her with the film, but I also honor, I challenge everybody to think of their relationship with their mothers and grandmothers and so on, because we're here because of a long line of women that came before us and made space for us and watered us. So I wanted to honor that relationship.
Look at this, man. I'm all bad. That's my
So
nephew
Sway
right
loves-
now,
yeah,
man.
Sway
man.
just stole you. Now you in Sway's family.
You're my family now, man. And the piano lesson has a lot to do with legacy, right? And what do you do with it? How do you put it to use? I want you to talk about how did you apply that to this film, and then how do you apply that to your own life?
Yeah, so that's an idea it's been looming over me for my whole life, as you can imagine. Legacy is a really, really big concept when you're a kid and you're kind of starting to put the pieces of that together. And in our film, a central theme of it is confrontation, right? It's confronting parts of your history, parts of your identity, parts of yourself that you've either been running from or you're not ready to reconcile with. There's a necessary confrontation so that you can process those things and then move on to a future, with an informed decision or information of what happened in the past. And for me, legacy has been a big part of my identity, of me trying to figure out where do I fit into this thing. And in this film, the making of it mirrored the film itself and a confrontation of that thing that I've been fearing for so long.
Wow.
So
You said fearing for so long.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. There's a big shadow. So I wanted to confront that with the people that give me the most strength, that's my family, and honor not only my parents, but my grandparents and great-grandparents. And there's so many in our culture, as you know, there's so many strong and powerful stories of people that persevered and laughed and loved and had dreams and attained some of them. that didn't get documented, that only got passed down orally. So it's on our generation to put that into text, to put that in a document that will live forever, that will be seen by millions and millions of people around the world to say, hey, we're a people, we're proud, we stand on this thing, and we celebrate it.
Yeah, man, I think we're going to do a lot of applause.
Yeah.
Malcolm's my guy right here, man. We're talking about the piano lesson. It's going to be on Netflix on Friday.
Yeah, which is such a big day. Like, how does your family figure this out? Because Gladiator comes out Friday as well. Your film comes out. Like, y'all just have double parties? What happens?
It's so surreal. I can't tell you how surreal a feeling it is to be living in this moment right now, because there's certain times in life where things just line up for you in a way, and it's like, okay,
Amen.
You have to acknowledge that and give praise to it, and take advantage of it. So having Gladiator come out, and we celebrate my dad, for his 100th. I don't know how many movies.
Yeah, just say 1,000. It's good. You still won't be wrong.
1,000 great ones too. Yeah.
Yeah, and Gladiator's another. I don't know if y'all have seen it yet.
No, we haven't.
I got the opportunity to see it. It's so fun. I love the first Gladiator a lot. So seeing
Russell Crowe,
Joaquin Phoenix, incredible. So seeing this one is like a great addition to the canon.
You think? I'm sure you guys got a film room at the house. You think you guys can invite us over? We can
You
watch
know what?
Gladiator.
Come on,
Right?
Come on,
Set up
yeah.
a room.
I don't know about Gladiator. I can't promise Gladiator. But we can watch.
Why you trying to get me in trouble, Sway?
Yeah, because I don't work for Paramount. Shout out to Paramount, but
What kind of juice you got?
I got no juice over there.
Okay, wait. Terry from LA. He's here, man. Go. Go. You got a question, T?
Yeah. Can I come?
Oh man, this guy, man. All right, okay.
You know you need security.
Let's talk about August Wilson, because I know about Fences came out when your father was in Fences about 10 years ago, and now you get to direct your brother John David and also Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
With another August Wilson adaptation, right? Let's talk about that. Let's unpack that. What is it? When were you first introduced to August Wilson? And can you share with the world what makes August Wilson so special?
Yeah, August is one of our highest. He's one of our premier playwrights, of course, and one of the most important voices in Black and American literature. August, and we come from a culture that acknowledges its heroes. We hold them up. We chant their names. We shout them out. So August is a name that's been around my life for a long time, but I never really engaged in his work deeply until I saw my mom. My mom actually did a play of his, 2 Trains Running, that I saw for the first time. But August is one of those canon figures that connects so many Black artists and so many Black legacies are tied to his work across decades. James Earl Jones, Courtney B. Vance, Alfre Woodard, Viola Davis, and my dad, and so there's so many great people that are attached to his work that when you work on his films or when you work in one of his projects, you too attach to that legacy, and it's incumbent upon you to contribute something to that. Yeah. So it was an honor to work within that space, and then try to bring something new to it, trying to bring our generation to it. We're one of the younger productions, younger adaptations of this, and with that we stretch it, right? We add contemporary Black music in this.
Got Erykah Badu in there, right?
Got Erykah Badu in there.
Yeah, come on, man. I get it though. Keep going.
Yeah. But just that it's to not only honor our legends, but to bring it to the new generation, because I'm somebody that was raised in a generation where I kind of thought August was for my parents' generation. I thought it was for them. But I found myself in the work and wanted to connect people like me and my demographic from my parts of the world, connect them to this and say, hey, this is your story too. You have ownership over this. You're in here as well. So that was part of our objective with this adaptation, do something exciting.
That's great, because I was going to ask you, like, obviously you went to school. You have the experience. I'm sure you have the prayers all lined up, for this. But how do you then meet this moment? Because this is huge. You're talking about directing your brother. You're talking about established artists. I don't want to just limit them to actors, but artists. How do you meet that moment? Because once you get on set, it's like, yo, Malcolm, it's really happening.
It's so scary. It's so scary.
You've been real cool this interview.
But it has to be. I was scared for you just listening.
What helped is, so on set, before set, you're so nervous. Before the first day of shooting, you're so nervous.
Right.
So nervous. And you get there, and the first take, Samuel L. Jackson starts ad-libbing, and he starts ad-libbing and starts cursing. He brings a gun out. It was so funny. It was so funny that it just broke all the tension because you're like, Sam raised us. His films, the characters he plays raised us. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Sam is so funny. He's so funny. And you're doing this thing that feels so important, and then he just cracks a joke, and you're like, okay, we're off to the races.
Oh, okay. The ice
Just
is
settle
broken.
in. The
Got
ice
that.
was broken. You just
Got
settle
it.
in.
Good for you. Good for you.
Was your dad on set at all?
He was on set a little bit because, this is really important to him. He wants this. This is an important part of his legacy as well.
Yeah.
But I think he saw that the kids had it, and he was like, all right.
Wow.
He let y'all have
He
it.
let us have it.
August Wilson's wife gave your dad permission, right, to really kind of shepherd, his works.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. She controls all of his estate. So when August passed away, he gave it to his wife to take care of it, and she passed it on to my dad and said, "Hey, you shepherd these things and help see these through in the right way."
One of the things I admire about what you and your family, what you are doing, first and foremost, but your family, you have your fathers, your brothers starring in it, right? You have one of your sisters, it's Katia. Katia is working on production side, right? Your father's company is producing as well, right?
That's right.
Is Olivia in it too?
Yeah, I put Olivia and my mom. They both make appearances in the film. Yeah.
Dude, and so even beyond this film, what I find interesting is you had to do a presentation to your dad and his partner, right?
To everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
To Sam, to my brother, to Netflix, everybody, yeah.
Was that standard, or they wanted to make sure you had the chops?
I think both. I came with. I had a strong idea of what I wanted, what I thought the film could be, what I thought a film like this could be, and it's very different from other iterations. It's different from other adaptations of plays to films. This is a fully cinematic experience. Like, this is a full thing in this film, and I wanted to push that. It was kind of bold to take this revered work and say, okay, but we're gonna mix it up a little bit. So I wanted to show them what I had in mind. Hey, if you like this idea, if you're behind this vision of it, then let's do it. Let's rally the troops.
I love this.
For all of the people that's listening, and then Malcolm, for everyone that's going to see this, how long did this take from the time that you had the idea? Because people want things so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you grew up, in this, but still you had to do the work. So for everyone listening, how long did this take for you from start to finish?
This is a deeply, deeply, deeply personal and considered work, right? So this is not something you put in the microwave. This is this story came out of my digitizing my family photos and building out my family tree and putting my life in the context of my ancestors. And that process with the writing started in 2020 in COVID. So it's been about 4 years of consistently working through this thing to get to the point where now it's going to come out.
Do the work, y'all.
Do the work. And so there's been a lot of narrative about the black family. And when I look at what your family is doing right now, and it's quiet. I don't even feel like people are flagging the fact that the whole family is involved in this work. Right, we don't often see that. Heather, I told you about the time I went to Miami and I was with these amazing people who did some dental work for me, and then
shout out to our friend,
with Dr. Herzog, and then her husband's her partner, her best friend's a controller, the accountant, and I was like, wow, they did it right. Families living together, and working together. What's wrong with that? Especially in the black community, we always say, well, how come we don't do it like this other community?
Yeah.
Those folks over here, they got it figured out. They got grocery stores. They got a chain. These folks, they're clothing us. These folks, they're feeding us. But we're not working together. Your family, I'm curious, is this happening naturally, or is this a mission? Did y'all discuss like one day?
Yeah, it's happening naturally, and I don't think that we're the exception.
Okay,
I think that we are a culture that works together. I think we are a culture that is universally connected. I was living in Paris for a bit this summer. I was there for a few months, and it was so interesting seeing how black people interacted there versus black people interacting here. Where here, I could be in a city I've never been to, and I'll see a black person walking down the street, and you make eye contact, you acknowledge each other's presence.
Do that nod, that black nod.
Exactly. You're connected.
Yeah.
You're connected. And so I think that it's more the thing where people are constantly telling us that we're disconnected. People are constantly telling us that our families are broken, where they're not. We are connected. We share this experience, and we're a connected culture. Gil Scott talks about it a lot on his. He has a poem where he's like, he said, people keep telling me I come from a broken home, but if they ever bothered to phone there, they would know that there was love. And I think that that's where we all come from. My family works together. There's a lot of families that work together.
Wayans,
Yeah. But outside of entertainment, just in our culture, that's inherent to us. So I think that seeing it and acknowledging it is important because it exists. People are just telling you it doesn't.
Yeah, man, I love this. Malcolm Washington is here. We're talking about the piano lesson, which is on Netflix this Friday. Malcolm, I did some calculation, brother, and you were born, what, 90, 91?
91.
91. That was around the time your dad was really working on the Malcolm X movie with Spike Lee.
Yeah.
Here's the question, bro. Did he name you after Malcolm X?
No, so I was named.
Okay.
So I got a theory. I was named after my cousin Malcolm. Oh. But these things lined up, right? I was born in LA in 91. When they were working on, he's preparing for Malcolm X, but there's so much power in the name. Like I feel a strong connection to Malcolm X. My mom's name is Pauletta. She carries the suffix from 3 generations of Eddas that come before her, and in that suffix she carries, the hopes and traditions and values of the women that came before her. So I think even just the connection of that name, there's so much power in that. That I feel a connection to my cousin and to Malcolm X at the same time, and I find peace and protection with that.
I love this. All right, cool, man. You get a chance to first of all, that was really beautifully said.
Yeah.
Giving a minute a round of applause. I always wonder, because I always see your dad. I love his interviews because he always brings up a quote. There's always a quote.
He's a quoting man.
He's a quote guy, right?
That means he's a reader.
He's a reader, avid reader.
But a collector of it too. He's like
Wow.
in there. You go to the house. You go to the house, and he's just in there. Well, I got to tell you something. He's like, I just saw this thing, So
he's like that.
He's just like that, yeah.
See, I wanted to know if that's the guy he is when the cameras are off.
You should see him with the cameras off. But now my dad turned 70 this year, so
Wow.
he's like who he is regardless of camera or not these days.
Yeah.
He just is.
And I love it. He seems so free,
God
bro.
bless him.
Right?
Yeah.
Man, 70, he looks great. That makes me
didn't know
feel
that.
good, man.
Yeah.
Do you recall any quotes as a child? My mother used to say to me when I thought I was getting over, because I was very, I don't want to use the word manipulative, but it was
You were smart.
I was smart. It was a thin line between charm
Yeah.
and being manipulative, right? And she used to laugh at me and say, you're going to fool some of the people all the time and all the people some of the time, but you can never fool yourself. She used to always say that. And so whenever I was bullshitting,
Damn, that's heavy.
I couldn't get it. I
that's
couldn't
heavy.
escape
That's
it,
heavy.
right? Because I knew I was bullshitting and I couldn't fool myself.
Because you got to look yourself in the mirror.
You gotta look
and
yourself-
you know the truth.
And you know the truth. Any quotes your dad laid on you growing up?
It's too many. The two that are just like consistent, the most consistent, are stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Okay, that's some hustler talk right
Yeah.
there. Okay, all
But
right.
that's my dad.
That's your dad. I know.
That's my
Yeah,
dad.
I know your dad.
Yeah. And that is like just thoughts of preparation, preparation. Like he's a considered and prepared man for the work.
Yeah.
And the other thing you would always say is, he's like, you can be right 100 times. You only got to be wrong once. And so just to understand the stakes and the decisions that you make, you can slide by 100 times, but if that one time that you take your eye off the ball, that could be the downfall. So
Let me say this. 2 instances. I grew up in your dad's era, and when your dad did Training Day, I was there when they were filming. One thing your dad said, he told everybody on the set, he said, you know what? Let me do the acting, you just be you. And that put all the homies were put in a different perspective when they said that, because they felt, oh, okay, because they thought they couldn't be them.
Yeah.
They was cleaning it up, didn't nobody want to be like blood. No, he said, no, man, let me do the acting, y'all do you.
that's out of respect.
Respect.
Right, that's out of respect for our culture as a people, like that there's value in our stories, there's value in all of us. There's a filmmaker that I'm so influenced by, and he's somebody that I've been chasing, in the sense that when I saw his work early, it made me feel like, oh, okay, I can be myself, I can tell my stories, and that was Ryan Coogler. Ryan, when you see Ryan Coogler come talk, he sounds like he's from Oakland.
Yeah.
He speaks to his truth. His movies are so honest. They have a heart in them that mirrors its maker. And he's somebody that does the same. He respects and values the culture he comes from and puts it on the highest level.
There's another quote your father said that I want to bring up. There's a difference between making films and being a filmmaker. So dope, right? What does that mean? He said you're a filmmaker. What does that mean?
Yeah, I'm really moved by that. I'm really moved by that. You know, obviously, I'm sure everybody has a different relationship with their father. So hearing somebody give you love in that kind of way, you know, black fathers and sons, sometimes it's a dance sometimes.
Yeah.
So hearing that was really meaningful to me, because I think it suggests that that you're here on this earth for a period of time with a purpose, and if when you find your identity, it's finding that purpose that you're supposed to walk through this life with. So I'm hoping, I'm reading into that he thinks that this is my purpose, that I'm walking in my purpose, and I'm grateful for that.
I love it, man.
May I add one more thing, Mr. Slade? Please, I don't want to interrupt you. Please.
Go ahead, man.
The
If it's
last thing
real
I'm gonna
quick.
say-
It's gonna
There's
be.
a Thug Passion
Can
segment.
you
I mean,
tell
gee.
them? No.
New segment alert on Sway the Morning. Let's keep it 100, T.
What's up, homie?
Come on with
Look
the
here.
shit.
You know,
Come
Pop
on
is
with
the
Cosby
dude, dog.
and shit
Well,
because
trying
of
to-
Malcolm and the
you
respect.
ain't
but
Johnny Carson.
welcome
Just
to
ask the question.
Welcome to the Thug Passion segment, Malcolm.
ain't
Let's get
Arsenio
it.
Hall.
I got
Ask
to
the
be quick,
question, man.
But here's the
Shit.
thing I want to say. Can you elaborate on, and Sway's, your questions are great, what you're saying.
Thank
Can you
you.
elaborate on what it's like to have a black father in the household?
Yeah.
All right, T. That was a good one,
So
T.
there you
Stop right
go.
there.
Don't say
Okay,
nothing
no,
else.
you're
All
good,
right,
T.
okay. That was beautiful.
Yeah, you know, I am grateful to have been raised by two strong, smart, connected parents that valued a consciousness, valued their culture, valued intellect and education, valued community. But the way I grew up, my dad was working a lot too. You know, he was gone. He was making the movies that we all love. So I grew up with my mom a lot. Like I really connect to stories like that where there's like the mother and the son, or the mom raising the household. And like Gil Scott says again, you know, I was raised by women, and because of them, I'm a man. So I found my masculinity and my manhood so much in my connection to my mother, because she was the one that took me to practice every day.
Right.
She was the one that put the autobiography of Malcolm X in my hand. She was the one that showed me that men could be strong and independent and also tender and patient. You know, she was the one that kind of put that in me. And my dad did it by example. You know, I watch his film. I see him in Training Day. I see him in John Q. I'm like, okay, that's that, like everybody, like you all. You know, I watch that and see those ideals on the screen as well. But my mom, to be honest with you, was the one that was doing it every day that I saw.
Did you get to go on any of the sets though as a kid?
I was there in the Jays. I was there.
you was there?
Wow.
Training Day?
I was there, yeah.
What color you wear?
You told, don't wear them funny colors.
Antoine Fuqua was like really is a fantastic filmmaker and a great community builder as well. And he welcomed us in and let us watch.
So Malcolm, for our generation, like say for Sway and I, to come, our parents, I think, just wanted us to do what some of them didn't do. Some of them didn't get out of high school. College sometimes wasn't an option. They graduated, they got government jobs, and that was a good deal. So for us, they wanted us to go to college. I remember me specifically coming home to my mother and father going, I'm going to be a rapper.
Yeah.
They were like, get out. Like, this is not going to happen. Like, you're going to college, you're going to do this. This rapping shit, miss me with that.
Right.
For you, was it automatic almost? Let me say that you would fall into this. What would have happened if you would have came home and said, I want to be a casino dealer? Like, something crazy.
Yeah, they would have been like, well, you better get up and start shuffling cards or something. You know, like learn how, whatever you care about, be passionate about and attack that. But I have a really good friend of mine, one of my best friends growing up. His dad is an incredible brain surgeon. He's black. He's like one of the greatest brain surgeons in the world. He's black dude. And his mom is an incredible doctor as well. She's a black woman. And his mom is a huge film lover. Like, I would talk to her in college about really obscure films. Yeah, and she had seen everything, you know, so I would always connect with her on that. Dr. Bennett is her name. And I would talk to her. I was like, I went to an Ivy League school. So, and when you go to Ivy League school, the school I went to was like there was a big business school.
Where'd you go, Pennsylvania?
I went to UPenn, exactly.
Yeah.
So Wharton is like a great business school. So you're there and you feel this pressure of like, oh, I need to be an investment banker. I need to go into finance and have a real stable job. And at that time, even in my family, at that time, wanting to be an artist was like a crazy kind of endeavor. It's like, you're at Penn, you should go do business. And I was talking to her about it. And she was like, my parents, from her point of view, she's like, my parents couldn't go to college. My parents didn't have the opportunities I had. So they made us be lawyers and doctors. They put us through school. And we were the lawyers and we were the doctors so that y'all could be the artists.
Oh.
So that y'all could chase your dream. That I'll work the 90-hour weeks. I'll do that so that you can have the space to chase the thing that you're passionate about. And that meant so much to me.
Sure.
And in that moment, I was like, okay, I'm going to try this thing.
Man, this is a great conversation.
Yeah.
Malcolm Washington is here, man.
Yeah.
Get this man a round of applause. The piano lesson.
Friday.
Mm-hmm. Is there a world where you see a movie that you direct that stars John David and Denzel Washington? and throw Olivia in there, too.
No, Olivia.
Yeah, right.
Man, that who I think could really do that is Spike. I feel like Spike's
can
the one.
make that
I think
happen?
Spike can make it happen.
Okay.
You got to call Spike.
I got to call Spike.
And I feel like it's Spike. Spike got dibs on that. Spike.
That's my guy. You know Spike's my guy. So
I love Spike, man.
Yeah.
I love Spike. I owe so much to Spike.
Speak to that.
Just in our culture, Spike is like coming in the 90s. If you wanted to make movies, it'd be you want to be Spike Lee,
right?
That's
right.
like he's the one. He's the lexicon, the film lexicon for all of us. And what people don't know what he does behind the scenes, behind cameras, of how many black people he's gotten in the unions, how many black people he's gotten to become Teamsters because he won't start a production without them. He puts himself on the line for black people working in film. And I got the opportunity to work for him and see that firsthand, see what it was like to be a working director, show up 6 days a week at 5 a.m, and put those hours in. So I owe a lot to Spike. So it's Spike's.
Spike, I could talk to Spike. I got Spike's number.
Okay.
You didn't see me and She's Gotta Have It.
You know what?
No, not She's Got It. With the remake though.
Yeah.
You saw me in there. You saw me
You
at
was
that
in
part.
that?
Yes.
Sorry, who'd you play?
Me.
Let her know.
Yeah.
Let her know.
I played me.
Yeah. And
I got paid to be me.
All right, Sway. I got what is it? IMDb. I gotta look
Check
you
me
up.
out.
Okay.
I've done a lot of movies in case you know.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
I'm gonna
future,
call you.
you know,
You said
okay.
you said you're gonna come with the set visit.
I'll come to set visit.
Yeah.
You know I did. Will Packer put me in Stump the Yard.
Love Stomp the Yard.
Come on, love Will Packer. Salute to him. Who else had the idea? What'd I do?
We did Death Wish.
Death Wish with Bruce Willis.
Mm-hmm.
Eli
Yeah.
Roth.
I'm like, I seen both y'all in something.
You might have saw us.
Cage.
You might have saw us in Luke Cage,
Maybe.
maybe.
Okay.
I could just throw a lot
I
of them
like
out.
this.
You see what I'm doing,
Yeah,
Malcolm?
go
We did a lot of
I'm
stuff.
trivia. I'm
Name
cinema
dropping.
trivia right now, dude. You might have saw us Empire. Did you see Empire, the
yes,
series?
yes.
Okay, I did a
Of
couple
course.
seasons.
Here's the thing that he has though that he's not. Ask him who did he play in all
We're
of
gonna
these.
do this
films.
again.
Yeah, well, just because you're with a director now,
Okay, I'm auditioning.
and you're reading.
Okay,
You're reading your resume out.
Okay, go ahead.
Sway, who did you play in Stomp the Yard?
I played me.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what's wrong with that?
I'm just saying.
Credit, Malcolm. Talk to me, Malcolm.
Yo. Okay,
But
then
that means
what?
he's built himself up enough to be a draw. They called him for a reason. They
Ask
both
me-
y'all.
Ask me the next movie.
Who did you play in Death Wish?
Me.
Who did you play in Luke Cage?
Me.
Who did you play in Top
Yo,
5?
But are you clocking the different readings though? He's saying the same line, 4 different readings. Yeah.
Chris Rock did a movie called
Top 5. I said, who did you play?
I played me.
I love Top 5 too.
Yeah, you saw me.
Yeah.
You want to read my credits? You want to know who I played?
Who'd you play in Dead Press?
Peaches.
Who you play in Luke Cage?
Heather, that was a guest appearance. That was because I came with Sway. So they wrote me in. Shout out to our guy.
Who
He
you
wrote me
played in Death Wish?
That was with Sway again. That was with Sway. But I got mad different people. Malcolm, I'm mad different people.
Who
Who
you
was
play?
you in the Doritos commercial?
I was with Sway.
Okay. Who were you in the Nike commercial?
That's my voice.
I'm just saying.
Y'all
We got a lot of
busy.
credit. Booked and
Yeah.
busy. Sisters, I was the nosy neighbor. Cheryl. Like, I got mad
Who
names.
were you in Sisters with Tyler Perry?
Cheryl. Nosy Neighbor.
Who was I? And I'm
See,
sorry.
you can't
Malcolm.
even.
I like this.
This is what we fight.
Yeah,
we
I
fight
like
when
it.
guests
I
come.
like it.
All right, you was
the
Corey because I
Parkers,
know
the
what you're trying to
Parkers.
say.
Okay, my
You was
first acting
Corey from
experience.
MTV.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, but
Empire.
I was Corey. I wasn't
Yeah,
Sway.
put some applause on
Empire.
that.
Thank you, brother. You all right?
Who
with
was
me,
you in
P?
Empire, homie?
I was, your brother, man.
Thank you.
I
homie,
was
boy.
me.
So who would play you as a kid then?
Who was I as a kid?
If you made your own movie, if he's the producer director, correct?
Yeah.
If you want to make a movie this way, who would you choose to play your role as you as a child? Because you're at that age, homie.
Wow. I said the Thug Passion segment was over.
Yeah.
I'm bringing you in,
But
homie.
what age? If it's like in mid-20s, I'll get Miles.
Miles Frost?
Miles Frost to play me. The dude who played MJ.
Okay.
Nah, yo, you
I'm trying to
want.
rent this movie, homie.
You know what?
You know.
I'm gonna sell it to him right now. I'm
And I'll
making
get
my
Jonathan,
audition.
and if it's a current, like, let's say a 30-year-old Swiggity,
Yeah.
I'll get Jonathan Majors to play me.
Okay.
Or I'll
Y'all hear
get
your
Daniel
name.
Kalua, somebody like that.
Nah, you just go off for names.
But
Be
the big names.
realistic.
Who gotta
Michael
be big
Jackson
names?
can't play you.
All right, anyway, Malcolm. Listen, man.
MTV
Get out of
Sway.
there, man.
I feel like
Get
we
out
at the
of
house.
here. This is what it is.
Oh, yeah, we
All
fight.
right. The movie is already getting Oscar buzz.
Rave
So
reviews, yes.
you awarded the Breakthrough Award at the 60th Chicago International Film Festival?
It's true, yeah.
This dude said that
So
with so much
humble.
humility. Right?
Thank you.
That means something, man. You was honored as a breakthrough director at the 32nd Hamptons
Wow.
International Film Festival and the 13th Montclair Film Festival.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting to it's strange. The film is so personal. It's so personal. So to now that it's coming out and being shared with the world, it's trippy a little bit.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, because I was going to say, is this part tough for you? Like stepping is a little tough for
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
I'm not comfortable here. It's like I these things you make at your desk or with a bunch of people on set where you're all connected to the thing. And to now be in front of cameras and walking around with this, like that's not
your. Yeah.
that's not me. That's not me.
They
But-
can't train
but
you for that.
At the same time, I'm incredibly blessed and honored that people want to engage in the conversation about the work that we did. And I think what we did is so important that people
Yeah.
should engage in it. So being here is like an absolute honor as well.
Well, we love you in this way. We've been excited. We've been talking about you being here, and we hope that you feel comfortable here.
I
Feel
do-
like
I
you're in the
do.
house in the
I
living
do.
room.
I really
Because
do.
you're family to us. It doesn't have to be a blood thing, but out of respect and legacy. And I think we could both agree, just sitting and listening to you speak.
Yeah.
It's just so engaging and so warm, and the fact that you do have respect for your family, specifically the women in your family and the legacy that they left behind, is just we have to embrace you and support this. So love to you, Malcolm. For
I
real,
appreciate
for
Give
you.
it
real.
up for
I
Malcolm
appreciate
Washington,
y'all.
man.
No,
The
of
piano
course,
lesson streaming
of
on
course.
Netflix this Friday, brother. Tell your beautiful, amazing mom we said peace and
Yes.
respect, and
Yes.
tell your
Yes.
dad we said the same. Okay?
You should have both of them come in here.
Tell them to come on, man. Come up, y'all. That'd be
Malcolm just say it so casually, like, yeah, tell my parents. Okay, do you know who your parents are?
Well, let them watch this, and that we would love to have them up. We'll get a
Absolutely.
whole different room for them. We'll just we'll make just a living room conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I feel like your father can mediate a lot of the conversations between Heather and me. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
We fight every day,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
brothers
so-
and sisters, but
yeah.
it's love.
Yes, love, man. Give it up for Malcolm Washington,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
citizens.
yes.
Okay, we coming right back. Shade 4-5. You want to say anything in closing?
Y'all got it. Man.
Yo, you and Ryan Coogler should work together.
For
Man,
real.
I love that guy. I'm really, really, really influenced by him. So
have
yeah.
y'all met?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
He actually gave me some incredible. I'll give you one quick story. The first class I ever took on filmmaking was a summer program at USC, and when I was there, it was getting the film I was making was getting some love, and they're like, you should think about coming to film school here. And I was like, oh well, who? At the time, I'm like, what? I wonder if there's any black filmmakers here. But before that, I was like, who's just the good filmmakers that are making stuff here? And they're like, oh, there's this guy, you should check him out. He's about to graduate, but here's his film. And it was Ryan Coogler. So I've been from that moment. I'm like been watching his. But this is before he made a feature. So I've been watching his stuff, and I randomly met him at a store here in LA, and I invited him to the cutting room on piano lesson. I said, hey, if you want to come give me notes, like I'd really appreciate that. And he came and gave me notes, and one of the notes he gave me turned into me putting my mom in the movie. So a big part of why my mom is in the movie is because of a note Ryan Coogler gave me.
Okay, Sway, he's
got
from
you.
Oakland. I know. It's Oakland.
I'm
He's
about to
yeah,
say that part.
Oakland.
I'm from Oakland. You know, Ryan's from
That's
Oakland. It makes
beautiful.
sense to me, man. Now, that's amazing. Thank you for that story,
Thank
brother.
you for sharing that.
Malcolm Washington. Get to know him if you don't know him yet. He ain't gonna do a whole lot of speaking in a minute.
He's gonna be unavailable.
He's gonna be unavailable. You can find us in the cinema room at their home. Okay. Thank you for coming through, brother.
You.
Have
For
a
real.
beautiful day, man.